Hello, it's William Jamie. Welcome to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you a very amazing technique called automatic interpolation and how to use that in grease pencil animation. The result is so good, and you can apply that to a very complex project, and it can save you tons of time. That's the great thing about grease pencil, is that you don't need to use like a frame by frame technique all the time. Sometimes you can use your mind and use your imagination, and in this video I'm going to show you that trick. Okay, so in order to really demonstrate this project in a very simple way, I'm not going to do that in this go, but I will in the end. Just to quickly demonstrate the concept, I'm going to make a new. Of course, you can follow along by just make a new, because that's like the easiest and fastest way of doing things. Okay, right now I'm going to just choose 2D animation. Okay, once you do that, I'm going to just save all this. Okay, so I can just open a completely new project, and I'm going to demonstrate that and then apply that, because I'm going to tweak this technique. Right now, I just want to demonstrate that it's doable and it can be done this way normally, but when you put this technique into practice, you will encounter a lot of problem. Okay, because you are not going to consider all kinds of stroke. You're not going to record, using the mind to take a mental note of stroke all the time. You can't do that. So here's another trick for you. Okay, let's do this. So if you are not familiar with make like a frame by frame animation, and you're not familiar with Blender, let me just quickly show you. I just started learning animation a few weeks ago, and I think this is a very famous, very classic example of making practice animation, and some people hate it. Is that you draw a ball, and ball like bouncing. Okay, the ball is just moving forward and backwards, bigger and smaller, right? Moving in space, all sort of thing. But some people just hate it, but you can save yourself a huge amount of time by practicing using this technique, and you can just move on. Once you got some concepts, you can just move on to a lot of more interesting stuff. Okay, but don't skip the practice. It's very important. Right. So let me just quickly add one frame here. So I got right now I don't have any keyframe. Okay, so if you draw, let me just use a specific brush for drawing. So I can go to tool. I could got like a maybe just like ink pen, something like that. Maybe just F pen or F ink pen. Okay, let's just get something more thinner and more darker. Okay, let me just draw a ball here. Okay, the ball got a starting point here. So for example, got 20, and we got a ball got here just right before the ball actually hit the ground. Okay, so if you go from the start and you play this, we just just automatically like a really low frame rate, for PowerPoint, even like here and then here. Okay, really choppy. And what I'm going to do, if I'm doing frame by frame, I'm going to adding a lot of ball in between, right? That's time consuming, and since this ball is in the middle of the air, we don't want to stabilize it by make it thinner and change the shape, make it longer. We don't want that. We just want to keep the exact same shape, and maybe just vary it a little bit. But normally this shape should be exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is to use this automated technique by using the click draw, and we got interpolate sequence. Okay, once you click this, it will just automatically interpolate every sequence. Okay, so you don't need to draw a lot of frame. Okay, this is a huge time saver. Let me just show you. Okay, so let's play. Right, it's just to save you, I think maybe just 5 minutes right now. Okay, maybe 10 minutes, and then you can just focus on the specific thing, like anticipation and after effects and all sort of thing, and it's works so great. And sometimes you want for example, let's back to our little girl that I draw a sketch. If you want to animate that, but you want to most of the parts keep the same, and just maybe is the mouse moving like this, say like I steady, like I don't know, maybe Kimi or I don't know, Matte or something like that. You can just animate the mouse. Okay, you can animate the mouse, and the rest of it just like sway that a little bit. Okay, you can use duplication, and you can like sculpt that or grab that little bit, and let computer to interpret all what is in between. So you don't need to like draw that hundreds of times. And by the way, everything is like a vector, so you can always edit that with ease. You don't need to draw that again. That's a huge time saver as well. Okay, so let me just focus on this ball and quickly get the concept as well as the animation like quickly under your belt, because some people may watch this video that haven't like not familiar with Blender as well as animation before. So let me quickly demonstrate that a few more times, and then we go to the like practical stuff. Alright, so we've got a 20 here. So for example, I want to like quickly squish this down. So I'm going to do like a 25 or 24. Okay, and then I'm going to draw another ball that like really squishes down, something like that. Okay, and then I can interpret what's in between. Okay, I can just interpret that. And of course, you can add the type from linear to all sort of else. We will dealing with that in our animation. Right now, let's just use linear because it's easy. Of course, you can use custom, and you can use all that. Doesn't really matter at this point because it's really simple animation. And let's play this. Okay, so yeah, that's much better, and it just to save you maybe 2 minutes. Okay, and then you got this like squishes up, and you like quickly bounce it. You don't need too much of frame, so you just get something like this, or maybe back, maybe something like this. Okay, just remember everything I did just now, just using one stroke. Okay, and you can interpret in between. And if you want like smoothness of the workflow, you don't need to do this like in between things every time. You just do that the final step. Okay, you just focus on the flow, so the workflow is very streamlined. You can save you guys tons of time, right? And then like a huge like bounce it up. Okay, so I'm thinking of maybe like a quickly bounce it up, maybe bounce up to here. Okay, so I just draw here, and then we have to fill in between. Okay, so here, draw and interpret sequence, and got it here, and draw, interpret sequence. Okay, so as I can see, if you click play, going down, going up. Okay, and then you can I don't know, maybe loop these animations. Yeah, I think this works pretty well. And by the way, we just generated 14 frames. Okay, that's the big deal. That's a huge time saver. For example, if you, even though it's just a single ball, you have to draw 40 times. Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. And most of the time, it's just a change of position and nothing else changes. Okay, and sometimes you might want to add a little bit like a variation effect. But the amazing thing about Grease Pencil is that you're not going to draw two strokes completely the same. Okay, so it will interpret like in between. As you guys can see, every frame is a little bit different, like a smooth transition, like a linear transition. Of course, you can customize that later. I'm going to show you how to do that. But as you guys can see, in between frame also got changed. That is simply brilliant. So you don't need to like manually add a little bit of variation because the the stroke, the pressure is different. Okay, so you don't need to manually do that. It will just automatically generate it for you. Okay, let me just play this once again. Okay, but here's a catch. Do you remember that every time I say that I have to remind you that stroke matters. Okay, because if the stroke does not match, especially if you like your animation got even more complex, it won't work. So let me just show you. Okay, so let me just delete every animation here, delete all this keyframe. Let me show you. Okay, so for example, if you got more than one stroke, Okay, let me use like a chaotic technique to demonstrate that. So for example, you got one person that you want to finally get that. You have to count the stroke, by the way. Okay, so for example, you got like I don't know, an anime guy. Okay, one. Remember one. Okay, two. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 20, 60. Okay, so we got 60 strokes, and of course you have to do 60 strokes in order for you to interpret it. Okay, so you got something like that: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15, and 16. Okay, you have to exactly match it in order for it to interpret. Okay, so draw, finger crossed. I'm not sure this will work. Okay, it's working, and let's try this. Okay, so yeah, click this. Is that amazing? Okay, so basically you can use exact same stroke to like compose compose or decompose a specific drawing, and you don't need to worry about it. Just like when you watch Transformer, and like a transformer like changed shape. Okay, so from like a trunk and then go to a robot. Okay, you can do that using this technique, and you don't need to worry about what is in between, which is great time saver. And I already got tons of art projects. Like the process is the art, as I said in my Patreon video, right? I have ideas that it's like a process is art, and you can use this like a process, the creating process as well as decomposing process, as a kind of art form to demonstrate your thing. Okay, this is just a very cool technique. Okay, so just to make sure, just to remember that you have to make it's the stroke can't do matter. And in order for you guys to see more clearly, what about it does not match? Okay, so for example, I got some testing stroke. Okay, that definitely does not match. Okay, so if it does not match, what will happen? Let's just try things out. Okay, so you can't possibly remember every stroke. You must go the one stroke more or less. Okay, so if you do that, you stroke and interpret stroke. Okay, and just look at it here. Okay, so if you click this, okay, the stroke that is more or the stroke that is that you add later. Okay, so the text stroke just disappeared. Okay, so it will not stick here, it will just disappear, as if you enter a new canvas and you just erase everything, because that stroke does not matter. Okay, so this gives me at least give me some inspiration of some art projects. So let's go back to our girl. Okay,